Darn acrobat. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Try New Things, where this one's going to be in the tractor series for the RK25. It is early April and it's time to hook up the tiller for the first time ever to the RK25, and that means doing something I've never done, never attempted, and that's size a PTO shaft. So my goal for today is to successfully hook up the new tiller and size the PTO shaft and get it running so that I can till the garden here pretty soon. It's not time to plant just yet, it's a little too early, but if we get a string of nice days like this, I want to be able to till the garden. So let me remind you, if you haven't seen it, what I picked up at the end of last year when it's out of season. Got a little bit of a discount on this rotary tiller. Now before I show you the tiller, I just want to show you that I am not biased in any way to any particular brand and or color. So the RK25 and its associated backhoe, as you know, are red. My wood chipper is blue. My aerator is yellow. My box blade is red. And then my tiller is green. The only option they had on sale for me was this John Deere colored one at my local dealership. It isn't John Deere, but I did buy it at the John Deere dealer. So it is a Tar River Implements TXG 060 60-inch tiller. So it's a 5-foot tiller, PTO driven. There's the new PTO shaft I've got to size and hook it up to the RK25. Check the fluids, grease it up, and get it ready for a till. So let's go ahead and fire up the RK25, hook up the tiller, at least to the loader bucket, and drag it into the barn where it's nice and level and give me a good place to work to get started on hooking it up to the rear and sizing the PTO shaft. So according to the manual that came with the rotary tiller from Tar River, step one is to install the tiller, everything level, which I have gone ahead and done. It's all connected. I've gone ahead and taken the cover off the implement PTO so I can get access to the bolt to release that. So there's the cover. The next thing it says to do is install the PTO shafts on both the tractor and the implement and line them up at the tiller's highest position. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now and raise the tiller as high as it'll go and then line up the shafts and see how much, hopefully, I can figure out we need to trim. So there we have it in its highest position. Let's install the tractor side of the PTO shaft and see if we can figure out what they're talking about. It's fairly tight quarters in here. But you only have to do this once. There, glad we greased it. So if I'm reading the instructions that came with the tiller on shortening a PTO drive line, number one says attach the implement end to the implement and the other end to the tractor PTO input shaft. So that is done. Raise the implement by using the tractor's hydraulic 3-point hitch to its maximum lift height. That is done. Now hold the shafts next to each other and mark them so each end is approximately 1/2 inch from hitting the end of the telescopic profile. Well, the picture really doesn't help. Shorten the inner and outer guards equally. Shorten the inner and outer profiles by the same length as the guard tubes. Using a rat tail file, round off all sharp edges and burrs. Grease the fitting generously before reassembly. So what in the heck does 1/2 inch from hitting the end of the telescopic profile mean? I don't get it. Alright, so PTO shaft attached to the implement, to the tractor, implement in its highest position, line up the two shafts by side, and make sure it's more than 1/2 inch from hitting the end of the telescopic something or other, which it looks like I am more than 1/2 inch. So am I good or am I not good? So if you're watching this, manufacturer, not viewer, some photos or pictures or illustrations would certainly help. So what I think I'm going to do is take it off the tractor, put it together, and then see if I can attach it and go from there. Because I might be good, I don't know. I can actually get it on here, I believe. So let me try something. I'm going to lower it. Just make the shaft longer or shorter. About the same. So it's pretty tight. I think I have to cut a good 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch off this to make it easier to get on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark the same distance on the plastic cover for each end of the PTO shaft, and then cut it off with a hacksaw, and then we'll come back and measure the same on the actual PTO shaft. I'll do the same to the other one and check back in with you. Alright, I've already changed my mind on the hacksaw. Since I have this rotary tool, I thought maybe I would try that first. Let's give this a whirl. Can't see how that's not better than using a hacksaw. All right, let's do the other one. All right, with that out of the way, we'll measure the metal shaft, and then we'll take it over to the chop saw and cut the same amount off each one of these as we did to the plastic. Well, getting that PTO half to sit well or seat well in the chop saw is a bit tricky with that plastic shroud on there. Don't want to crush it, so hold on as tight as you can and cut on through. All right, we're finally back to the tractor. And it's time to try to hook up the newly shortened PTO shaft. And one of these splines is different. It's that one. Actually, should put a little grease on that. And so I'm coming up about a 1/2 inch shy, fully retracted from the end of the PTO on the tractor, which I believe, according to watching some other much more qualified viewers or YouTube creators, is where it needs to be. So let me get this shaft on here, hopefully. Good Lord. Gonna be a darn acrobat. There, finally. Good Lord, this cover and these plastic covers, I know they're there for my protection. But what a pain in the butt to get this on here. So let's go ahead and get our tools away and fire this baby up. So before dragging that out of the garage here, I made sure to check the fluid levels in the tiller, as well as hit all the grease fittings. So that's all taken care of. Let's fire the tractor back up, engage the PTO, see what happens. Well, that's just about going to wrap up another episode of Try New Things. I thank you once again for taking the time to join me, seeing if I'd be successful or not, of sizing my first ever PTO shaft and getting the new tiller hooked up. So I'm quite pleased with that, and pleased with myself actually. And I did go back to the instructions a couple of times, and something as important as this, I think it's worth taking a look at those instructions, guys. So anyways, if you got any questions or comments as it relates to sizing a PTO shaft, please check out somebody's how-to video, somebody with a lot more experience than me. But if you want to know about the tiller, hold tight. That's going to be the next episode where I take it down over the hill and give it a try on the garden. I'm sure I'm going to hit some stones and sticks and roots, because that's all I've got for soil down there. So it's going to be quite the test, and I'm also a little worried about that. But anyways, if you haven't yet already done so, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.